So when people mention fallen angels, a lot of people may think about, well, the beings that are inside this picture behind me with like the wings, but they look like humans and stuff like that. But is this really what the fallen angels were? Did they really look like this? Or is this just a perception that we have which isn't accurate in regards to history or biblical text? Well, in today's video, we're gonna find out. Now, real quick, if you don't know me, yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment. For coaching, my links are down below. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about and clarifying who the fallen angels really were. So first things first, did the fallen angels look like these beings right here? You know what I'm saying? Like these, did they? Not all of them, not a lot of them in fact. And the thing is, they were never described as looking like this anyway. Let's first look at what the word angel even means, right? Let's pull up my screen real quick, right? So, right here, the Hebrew word for angel is however you pronounce that, which literally means messenger. The term can refer to both human and divine messengers in the Hebrew Bible, meaning that an angel is just a messenger, specifically a messenger from the Lord or from the divine, right? Like right here, the root of this word means to send, highlighting the role of these beings as messengers or representatives of God. This is very important because when we say the word angel, you can't always just think about most people's perception of an angel because they're really just messengers. And I'm saying this because the fallen angels, a lot of them were really just ETs. And when it comes to rebelling against God, right, the word for God that they used wasn't even Yahweh. It was Elohim. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay, let's pull it up. I looked up when referring to the fallen angels who rebelled against God, did they use Elohim or Yahweh? When referring to fallen angels, the term used is Elohim, not Yahweh. Elohim is a Hebrew word that can refer to God, but also to other divine beings like angels, both good and fallen. Yahweh is the proper name of God of Israel, and it's not used to refer to angels. So yeah, anyway, when it comes to the fallen angels, right? Like right here, it says in the context of the rebellion against God, fallen angels are often referred to as sons of God. But peep, it's Bene Ha Elohim. You feel me? So these are children of the Elohim, the many gods. Who are the Elohim? The Elohim are the Inataka. I've mentioned them on my YouTube. I've made videos for them on my Patreon. I made a recent video called Walking with the Gods, so I'd recommend watching that video to get like a quick understanding if you don't know what the freak the Inataka are. But the Inataka are the higher god beings that helped to actually craft, you know what I'm saying, this earth, and various other spaces within inside our universe. They actually played a big part in forming the universe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Inataka are the Elohim. Like so in the Bible when it says God created heaven and the earth, even then it says Elohim. So when it says they made the heavens and the earth and the whole firmament stuff, yeah, that's the Inataka. You feel me? And the fallen angels, right, are the sons of the Elohim. So it's the beings, right, that are part of the Inataka pantheon, right, or at least aligned with those beings that stopped fully aligning with those beings. For example, you have the Inakata. The Inakata are pretty much when these Inataka beings lower themselves into like a mortal form. You feel me? And these beings manifested on earth, right? When earth was fully made, they manifested themselves on the earth. That's why they're made in God's image. Duh, you know what I'm saying? Now there was other primate beings on the planet too, and I explain this really more in depth on my Patreon when I talk about deity worship systems and how fallen angels help to influence them and stuff like that. But to keep it very short, right? The Inakata come from Inataka that formed on Earth, right? And at some point, those beings got very attached to Earth, and they started doing things like making other beings on the planet, and they just did a whole bunch of things which they weren't supposed to do. Those were the first fallen angels. The Inakata that were on the Earth, right, that were living as mortals, that came from the image of God, right? They started experimenting with making different beings, and they did a whole bunch of other things which made them be considered as fallen because they stopped following the will of the higher God beings that did not want them to do this, although they knew they were going to do it anyway. Now, I'm saying this because it's not just referring to, it's not, fallen angels don't just refer to the Inakata, but it also refers to like the other ET beings that came here. Understand that a lot of the ETs come from the Inataka. Like, for example, Lyrans, right? There's a Lyran Elohim, which comes from certain god, which comes from it's an androgynous, it's like an androgynous consciousness that's called Uriel. You know what I'm saying? That's what gave birth to to the Lyrans, right? And also to the Syrians too. You feel me? Which is why there's like this Lyran Syrian connection thing that I've seen before. I've seen it online, but the website I've seen it on be having a lot of BS. But I might read through it just to see what's real, what's not, and also go to the Astro and learn about it for myself. But yeah, I know they come from the same exact God being inside the Inataka, you feel me? Which also leads to Pleiadians too, and the tall whites and stuff like that, because the Pleiadians pretty much just came from Lyrans that took on human forms, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and a lot of the beings that were on the earth were a lot of Pleiadians, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Syrians and a lot of Anunnaki, which Anunnaki are aligned with the Inataka pantheon also, you see? And when it comes to these beings, these were the fallen angels. And let me just put this last thing out real quick, my nigga. I literally looked up, does the Bible or the Book of Enoch say what the fuck they look like? It doesn't. It says the Bible does not give a detailed physical description of fallen angels. However, the Book of Enoch, while not part of the biblical canon for most Christian denominations, provides more elaborate accounts of their appearance and actions, particularly focusing on the watchers who fell from grace. Now, peep this right here. The Bible portrays angels, including fallen ones, as spiritual beings. It does not offer specific details about their physical form or size beyond their ability to appear as humans or other beings. Okay, let that shit sink in real quick. And look, we'll even go down here. It says, this is the Book of Enoch's perspective, right? It says these fallen angels are described as having human-like forms, but also possessing immense power and influence, right? Now, this is important also because a lot of the Anunnaki could look like humans. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them look like black men, and some look like white men, like the Greek gods. The Palladian-based Anunnaki look like the Greek gods. You feel me? Essentially, but the Greek gods are not the beings, right? Like the Greek gods are not these Palladian Anunnaki beings. But the reason why you have all these different deity worship systems, which be having all these different ties together, is because the deity worship systems was literally made for the fallen Inakata who fucked up the plans in the first place. You feel me? It was made for them. That's why these religions are fallen angel religions. Doesn't make them evil, right? Like some people hear fallen angel think about fucking demons, which, you know, a lot of fallen angels did become demons. Like there's a lot of, like I ain't gonna cap, like there's a lot of Syrian beings, right, that stayed on the earth. You know what I'm saying? Even when there was an ice age, when there was a flood, and they got very disconnected from their Syrian heritage. And now these are some of the demons inside the fucking Marine Kingdom. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they always say that the demons come from fallen angels. Now that's not particularly fully true, but a lot of demons will come from these fallen ET beings, right? So understand that the fallen angels are really just ETs and beings that didn't align with the will of the Elohim, because the Elohim did not really want the Elohim didn't really want the people to be influenced by these higher beings. The reason why there even was at one point there was the first thing that fucked up the Inakata was the Ice Age, and that was done to essentially wipe them out, and then the ones that remained were not meant to really have memory of who they really were, and when they did come back into awareness of who they really were, it'd be at the right time. But these beings, this is why they, like, hold on, let's do this real quick, hold up. I'm going down here only because there's a demon's name at the top which I don't want to influence y'all, but it says they teach humans magical medicines, incantations, the cutting of roots about plants. Don't this shit sound like magical medicines, incantations, cutting of roots and plants? Nigga, that shit sound like fucking African root work, my nigga. Which is where the fallen angels first came, nigga, Africa and Egypt and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? The fallen angels helped with establishing Egypt, you know, but aka the Anunnaki and other beings of that nature and stuff like that. These are who the fallen angels really are. Once again, they had no distinct form. Some looked like humans, but once again, what nigga, even though the Book of Enoch says they look like fucking human, they had human like forms. What the fuck does this say? Their ability to appear as humans or other beings. They could appear as whatever the fuck they want. Well, some depending. This is in the sense of like the fact that they have no, like, some spiritual beings have no distinct form and they'll just fucking shape shift into fucking anything. Other ones do have a distinct form when they're taking on that character, like a Syrian or a Palladian. They have a distinct form, you see. But yeah, bro, we got to be aware of this. Because the fallen angels is not what mad niggas think. And fallen angel religions were literally made for the first. Like, you have the fallen angels that were the Inakatsa, right? The Inataka who manifested on Earth as Inakatsa, then stopped doing godly shit, right? You have those niggas. Let me put my background back up. You feel me? Let me get my shit back up. But yeah, you have those fallen angels. Then you have the ETs that came down to help those beings. And what one thing they did to help those beings was teach them again about magic and astrology and all these different things, because this is wisdom which they already had as gods, but they forgot it, and they were giving it back to them. And when they made these deity worship systems, it was to help these beings rise back up to their godlike nature so they could stop being fallen. But it was covered in so much mystery. One, sometimes for power and control, but mainly two, so that way not everybody could understand the teaching and the niggas who were not ready could not fully ascend to the same level. Now, if you want to get more deeper understanding about, the fallen angels and how they influence religion and stuff like that, you feel me? Definitely go to my Patreon for a fact. So I made that video yesterday, but I felt like if I just made that video, I should probably describe what fallen angels even are. You see what I'm saying? So this is what the fallen angels really are. A lot of them are just ETs. You know what I'm saying? And granted, there are the ones that got the wings. Like, let's not. I won't. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that, because the Bible does describe angels having certain kinds of forms, and those forms really do exist, like the seraphim, the oraphim, all that exists. It's just that it's not only that stuff, you know. Any messenger, even you, if you're a messenger of God, you would be considered an angel. You feel me? So we gotta understand that. But I pretty much said everything I gotta say, bro. If you enjoyed this video, like the video, subscribe if you're new. I have a whole playlist on my channel that's called Wisdom, ETs, all that. I have a lot of stuff on my channel. Go check me out. Astral Projection playlist, you feel me? I have coaching links down below. I have a Patreon, I have a course, all that, bro. I love you. Catch my next video. Peace, the freak. Out. You feel me?